Hi, it's Steve from Parts Select. In this video, we'd like to share with you some maintenance tips for your ride-on lawnmower. Although not all models are the same, the tips that we share with you today will be applicable to yours. Now, some of the key things that we want to go over today will be our air and fuel systems, our ignition system, engine oil and filter, as well as all of the linkages and cables. We'll check out the mower deck, make sure that's in good working shape, including the blades. We'll also look at the drive system. And lastly, we'll check out the tire pressure. Now, just before we begin, remove the ignition key so that we don't inadvertently start the mower while we're working on it. Now, one of the first things that we're going to do is to remove the mower deck. That will allow us easier access to change the oil, inspect our filter systems, our ignition systems, and all our cable and linkage. So we're going to remove that deck first. Now, most ride-on mowers will suspend the mower deck from the tractor frame, either with a 3-point system or a 4-point system. So before we release the deck mechanism from the lawn tractor frame, we're going to lower it completely down to floor level. Now next, with this particular style, we're just going to roll that deck forward. We'll slide that out of the slotted mount on the very front. And you can either remove that hook from the mower deck itself right now, or you can allow it to come out with it. Now next, before we can remove the whole deck, we need to release the belt from this pulley. Now there's a guard in place. We need to remove that first. Once we've done that, we can simply roll that belt off of this pulley. Now that we've released the deck from both the rear and front mounts, we've loosened up that front belt guard, got it pulled out of the way so we've got the belt off of the drive pulley. We're now ready to lift that mechanism at the back by raising the lever, and we can slide the deck completely out where we can get a really good look at it. Now, before we begin our maintenance and inspection of the mower deck, we're going to have a look at our engine oil first. So the first thing we'll need to do is pull the dipstick out and have a look at the condition of that oil. The level is a bit low and the oil doesn't look that bad. We're going to go ahead and change it anyways. Now, before we attempt to drain the crankcase oil from our garden tractor, we want to make sure that we first of all have something underneath of it to protect against any spills, and also have a container that is large enough in size to capture all of the crankcase oil. This particular model came with an extension to assist us with the drain process. Now, while we're waiting for the oil to drain from the crankcase, we're going to go ahead and have a look at our air filter system. So our air filter does show some signs of a dirt buildup on it, and the engine manufacturer suggests replacing it every 100 hours, and we're at about that point. So we're just going to remove the old one and discard it, and we'll replace it with a new one. Now, as far as our fuel system goes, this fuel filter was changed not long ago, and it still shows nice clean fuel inside of it, so we really don't need to do anything more here. If that fuel filter was in need of replacement, or if there's a bit of dirt buildup in there, you'll not only want to replace the filter, which is very easy, simply remove the 2 clamps, slide them up the hose, and place your new filter in and readjust your clamps. You'll want to make sure that you have something to collect the fuel that spills. And as well, if you were experiencing some dirt in that filter, you're going to want to do a carburetor clean as well. Now, if you've chosen to use a carb cleaner, make sure you follow the manufacturer's instructions. This particular style requests that the engine be running, and then we would spray it into the throat of the carburetor itself and around any exterior surface where dirt may have built up. Now, as you can see, our oil is practically drained from the crankcase. However, there is probably still some in that filter, and we need to change the filter as well. You will get some spillage here, so we're just going to tuck a little rag in there to catch some of the excess. Now if the filter is on there really snug, you'll either need to use a oil filter removing tool, and once you break the bond on that, it should come out pretty easily. Now the filter is full of oil, so use some caution, and then drain the excess out of the filter, and be sure to dispose of it responsibly. Now before we install the new filter, we want to make sure that we follow the manufacturer's instructions. It suggests to fill the filter to the bottom of the threads first and allow a couple of minutes for that to soak in. Once we're satisfied that we have the proper level of oil in our filter, we're just going to put a little film oil around that gasket, and then clean the base where the filter is going to mount. Make sure that we've removed any debris. Once we have the filter tightened securely, we'll then go ahead and remove our drain tube and close off the cap. Now we're ready to add the rest of our oil to the crankcase. Be sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions as to the amount that you're going to use, and be sure to use the proper oil for your machine. Allow just a minute for the oil to drain down through the tube, and we're right at the full mark, but we'll be sure to check this after the first hour of operation. Now that we've taken care of our filters and our engine oil, we're next going to have a look at our cables and linkage to make sure those are in good shape, and we'll have a look at the spark plug. So we'll begin with the cables. Now when inspecting the cables, look for any signs of damage towards the ends, or if they're really stiff to move, you'll want to replace them. And also take note that the adjustments are tightened securely. Now to check the spark plug on this particular model, it's probably easier if we remove this cover on top of the engine. It's simply held in place with 4 screws. Your model may have an easier access to it, where you simply need to pull the plug wire off, and then we can have a look at that plug. And then carefully lift that cover off and just set it aside. So we'll pull the plug wire off and pick the proper size plug wrench. So we'll carefully inspect the electrode end of that spark plug. It doesn't show any signs of wear or damage. Manufacturer's specifications don't require the plug to be changed yet, and this one's in good shape, so we're going to leave it alone. If yours shows signs of damage or the end is burnt on it, you'll want to replace that with the proper plug according to your manufacturer. Next, we'll inspect the plug wire, make sure there's no cracks or damage to the cap, and then it fits on nice and snug on the end of the plug. Now before we put the engine cover back on, just inspect it for any cracks or damage. Also remove any loose debris that may be on the bottom side of it, and then we'll carefully place it back on top of the engine. And then secure the engine cover with the proper bolts. Now we're ready to close up the engine bonnet, and we can have a look at our mower deck. Now we'll begin with the top side of our mower deck. We'll first have a look at that belt, and this one is showing some signs of wear, so I think we're going to replace that. Since we've determined that the deck belt needs to be replaced, we're going to have to remove the 2 idler pulleys because the guards are in the way of the belts getting off. And on the spindle pulleys, we'll need to just loosen those, or remove the 2 outside bolts and loosen them enough that we can wrap the belt around those. Remove the bolt from the guard, and then we can peel the belt around that. And again, depending on how much clearance we have, you may need to either remove the bolts for these shields, or you may be able to just loosen them. And we'll do the same for the opposite side. You can then discard the old belt. Now when installing the new one, we're going to follow the layout that is printed on the top of the deck. So first we'll feed that belt around the spindle pulleys. Verify that our belts are lined up properly. Now that we have access to the bottom of our mower deck, we can inspect the blades to determine whether we need to either just sharpen them or replace them. If they've got large chips out of them or are worn down from excessive sharpening, you'll want to replace them. If they're just slightly dull, you can take them off and grind a new sharp edge on them, and then you're ready to go. Now, before we slide the deck back under the ride-on, we need to make sure of a couple things. First, the rear pins need to be in the locked open position so that the lifts will slide right down through those two slots easily. As well, for the front hook, what we need to do now is to remove the jam nut and nut from the end of it. So before you do that, take note of the measurement of where that nut ends up. Remove the nuts completely, and you'll easily be able to reinstall this deck. So we want to make sure that we put that pin in the proper hole, the same one that we removed it from, and it should fit just on the back side of that bracket. Now next we're going to pull that mower deck towards the front of our ride-on, and we're going to feed the belt around the drive pulley. So we need to tuck it in behind the guard, but we want to make sure that we don't lose the connection between the guard on the left-hand side with the clutch. It fits into a slot on there. It's important that it stays there. If you didn't remove that bolt, you should be fine. If you remove the bolt, you'll need to ensure that that fits into that groove. Now when installing this hook, I want to make sure that it goes on in the same manner that you removed it. And we're going to slide it through this slotted opening on the front first. And then we'll fit the J end of that hook into the front of our deck. And now you can put the deck back in the raised position. The last thing that remains to do is to make sure that your air pressure is proper and you're all set. Thank you so much for watching. We certainly hope that the tips we showed you today will help you get your ride-on mower in top working condition. For more videos on appliance repair, maintenance, and cleaning tips, be sure to visit our website. If you have any tips or suggestions that you'd like to share, be sure to put them in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing.